Have you ever wondered how the wisest and wealthiest man in history achieved such greatness? Or if the secrets behind his success involve forces beyond human comprehension? In today's video, we'll delve into the life of King Solomon, a legendary character whose story goes far beyond the pages of the Bible. Get ready to explore the enigmas, achievements, and supernatural mysteries surrounding this fascinating figure. Stay until the end, because what you're about to discover may completely change your view of power, wisdom, and the limits of humanity. Solomon was not just a king. He was a living enigma. Endowed with divine wisdom, he amassed unimaginable riches and ruled with unprecedented prosperity. But behind all this splendor lie stories that few know, accounts of mystical pacts, mastery over supernatural forces, and the creation of secret knowledge that shaped the history of magic and spirituality. How did one man achieve so much power? And at what cost? To understand Solomon's greatness, we need to start from the beginning. He was not the legitimate heir to the throne. As the 10th son of King David, his chances of ruling Israel were virtually non-existent. According to tradition, only the firstborn had the right to succeed his father. But, as you will see, Solomon's trajectory was shaped by divine interventions and circumstances that defy all logic. King David, Solomon's father, ruled Israel for 40 years. During that time, he had sons and daughters with several wives and concubines. Among his descendants, the first 3 sons died, leaving the fourth, Adonijah, as the natural successor. However, Adonijah tried to usurp the throne even before David's death, defying God's will. It was then that one of David's wives, Bathsheba, with the support of the prophet Nathan, reminded the king of an ancient promise. God had chosen Solomon to succeed him. Even in his final days, David kept his oath, crowning Solomon as the rightful king of Israel. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Solomon's true journey begins after his coronation, when God offers him a unique gift, one that would forever change his life and the history of Israel. But how did Solomon use this divine gift? And what mysteries began to unfold during his reign? After being crowned king, Solomon faced a colossal challenge: governing Israel, a nation that was constantly growing and full of complexities. Despite his position, he felt unprepared to deal with such responsibility. Then, on a remarkable night, God appeared to Solomon in a dream and made him an extraordinary offer. He could ask for anything, and God would grant his wish. Imagine yourself in Solomon's place. What would you ask for? Infinite wealth? Absolute power? Immortality? Solomon, however, made a request that surprised even the heavens. He asked for wisdom and discernment to govern his people with justice and understanding. This request touched God's heart deeply. For his humility and selflessness, God not only granted Solomon incomparable wisdom, but also promised riches and honors such as no other king had received before. This moment marked the beginning of a reign that would be remembered as the most prosperous and peaceful in the history of Israel. Solomon's wisdom was soon evident in his decisions. One of the most famous stories is that of a trial between 2 women who were disputing the motherhood of a baby. Both claimed to be the child's mother, and there was no clear evidence to determine which was true. Solomon then proposed something shocking: to divide the baby in half, giving half to each woman. Although the suggestion seemed cruel, it was a test of character. The real mother, moved by love, begged that the child be given to the other woman, provided that her life be spared. Solomon immediately recognized who the real mother was and returned the baby to her. This episode not only cemented his reputation as a just king, but also demonstrated the depth of his divine wisdom. Over time, Solomon accumulated riches that defy imagination. Gold, silver, precious stones, and treasures from distant lands filled his palaces. His reign was marked by unusual peace, allowing Israel to flourish as never before. Kings and queens from all over the world traveled to hear his words and admire his greatness. The Queen of Sheba, for example, was so impressed by Solomon's wisdom and opulence that she brought him valuable gifts and acknowledged his superiority in wisdom and prosperity. But behind all this splendor, there was something else going on, something that few know about. While Solomon shone as the wisest and wealthiest man of his time, supernatural forces began to intertwine themselves in his story. Although the Bible already reveals to us a Solomon endowed with divine wisdom, There are ancient texts that present an even more mysterious side to this king. Between the 1st and 4th centuries AD, a manuscript called the Testament of Solomon was found in Egypt. This text, attributed to the king himself, describes supernatural events that allegedly occurred during the construction of the famous Temple of Solomon. According to the Testament of Solomon, while the temple was being built, a demon named Orneas began to torment the workers. He stole the wages of a young worker and drained his energy, leaving him increasingly weak. Solomon, upon learning of this, was deeply disturbed and prayed to God for help in confronting this evil force. The divine answer came in the form of the archangel Michael, who descended from heaven and gave Solomon a ring with a special seal. This seal, known today as the hexagram of Solomon, had the power to subdue demons and other spiritual entities. With this ring, Solomon gave the young worker the mission of confronting the demon Orneas, throwing the ring at him. The plan worked. The demon was captured and brought before Solomon. Upon interrogating him, the king discovered his name, his nature, and even the astrological sign to which he was associated. But Solomon did not stop there. He used the power of his ring to force Orneas to summon other demons, who were also subdued and placed under the king's control. Over time, Solomon gathered a legion of demons, including the Prince of Darkness, Beelzebub, and a female entity called Oneskeles. Under his authority, these entities were forced to work on the construction of the temple and to reveal hidden secrets about the spiritual universe. According to legend, Solomon cataloged 72 demons, known as the Goetic spirits, and documented the rituals needed to summon and control them. This knowledge, which many believe to be the basis of magical and esoteric practices to this day, was recorded in secret books attributed to him. But this relationship with supernatural forces raised questions. Did Solomon receive this wisdom directly from God, or did he cross a dangerous line by exploring the occult world? This doubt persists to this day, fueling theories and debates about the boundaries between the divine and the forbidden. While Solomon consolidated his power and expanded his knowledge, his personal life began to become complicated. At the height of his glory, Solomon was admired and respected by kings and nations around the world. His wisdom was unparalleled, his wealth impressive, and his kingdom a model of peace and prosperity. However, behind all this greatness, his personal choices began to erode the foundations of his relationship with God. Solomon made strategic political alliances through marriages with women from different nations. He accumulated 700 wives and 300 concubines, many of them foreign princesses. These marriages, while effective in strengthening diplomatic relations, brought with them a problem. Many of these women worshipped pagan gods and introduced their religious practices into the kingdom of Israel. At first, Solomon seemed firm in his faith in the God of Israel. However, as time passed, he began to give in to the influences of his wives. He built altars and temples to foreign gods, such as Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, worshipped by the Ammonites. These acts were abominations in the eyes of God, who had warned Israel against idolatry. The Bible records that in his old age, Solomon departed from the path he had taken at the beginning of his reign. He not only tolerated idolatry in his kingdom, but he also participated in it, worshipping foreign gods alongside his wives. This behavior was a profound blow to his relationship with the Creator, who had granted him incomparable wisdom and blessings. God, deeply disappointed in Solomon, decided to punish his unfaithfulness. He announced that after Solomon's death, the kingdom would be divided, with only one part remaining under the rule of his lineage, in honor of the promise made to David. This prophecy marked the beginning of Israel's decline as a unified and powerful nation. Solomon, once a symbol of wisdom and faithfulness, became an example of how even the most favored can fall before the temptations of the world. His story serves as a reminder that no amount of power or wealth can replace obedience and devotion to God. Although his life ended in melancholy fashion, Solomon's legacy remains complex. He is remembered as much for his unparalleled wisdom as for his spiritual downfall. His writings, such as the Book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon, continue to inspire generations, while his story of rise and fall serves as a powerful warning. Solomon's story transcends the pages of the Bible and the confines of ancient history. He is remembered not only as the wise and prosperous king of Israel, but also as a figure shrouded in mystery and symbolism. His life, full of achievements and failures, has become fertile ground for religious, cultural, and esoteric interpretations that still resonate today. In religious literature, Solomon is an example of how divine wisdom can be used for good, but also how spiritual neglect can lead to ruin. His writings, such as Ecclesiastes, explore universal themes such as the search for purpose, the fragility of life, and the inevitability of death, resonating with readers of all ages. The fascination with Solomon is not limited to the religious realm. He has also become a central figure in diverse cultures around the world. His story has inspired works of art, films, music, and even games. Solomon's image as a wise and just king appears in tales and traditions from Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, while his supposed magical powers are often portrayed in esoteric and fantasy narratives. In addition, Solomon's temple is often cited as a symbol of architectural and spiritual perfection. Movements such as Freemasonry and other esoteric orders reference the temple and the knowledge attributed to Solomon as pillars of their teachings. Solomon's mystical side also fuels occult theories and practices. He is believed to have compiled books such as the Keys of Solomon, which describe rituals and magical formulas to invoke and control spiritual entities. Although these works are viewed with skepticism by many scholars, they continue to fascinate those interested in the world of the occult. The idea that Solomon had mastered supernatural forces, both divine and demonic, raises questions about the boundary between what is permitted and what is forbidden. For some, he was a man guided by God. For others, a magician who dared to explore the dangerous secrets of the universe. Regardless of how Solomon is interpreted, his story is an inexhaustible source of reflection. It reminds us that power and wisdom, no matter how great, must be accompanied by humility and devotion. His example challenges us to seek balance between our ambitions and our spirituality, recognizing that even the wisest can go astray if they do not remain true to their principles. Solomon's life is a testament to human complexity. He was a wise king, but also a fallible man. A prosperous leader, but one who faced the consequences of his choices. His story continues to inspire, challenge, and intrigue, showing that the lessons of the past still have much to teach about the present and the future. And now, we want to hear from you. What impressed you most about Solomon's story? Was it his divine wisdom, his extraordinary achievements, or the mysteries surrounding his life? Leave your opinion in the comments, because it is very important to us. If you like this video, don't forget to like and share it with your friends who also enjoy fascinating stories like this one. And of course, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and activate the bell so you don't miss any incredible content that we are preparing for you. Until the next video.